Super Bowl commercials 2017. This year's Super Bowl ads left much to be desired. They were a disappointment in comparison to other years because many ads lacked the sufficient branding needed to promote their products. As well, there were a large majority of the ads that focused more on making a political statement than selling a product, which is the ultimate goal of an advertisement. After watching many commercials and sifting through, in my opinion, the best commercial was the Buick commercial, and by far the worst commercial was the TurboTax Humpty Dumpty commercial. The best commercial was the Buick commercial because I think that it was extremely memorable. It's nearly 20 days after the Super Bowl, and I still remember the plot of that commercial very clearly. Another thing that I noticed right off the bat was the clear product recognition. They introduced the product and what it was in the company within the first 13 seconds of the 30-second commercial. Another thing that they drew from was star power. They appealed to a wider audience and appealed to a lot more demographics by bringing in Cam Newton and Miranda Kerr, who are very active in pop culture right now. It was also football related, which was a very smart marketing move, and it appealed to the audience clearly because people are watching the Super Bowl. I also thought that it was very funny and entertaining, which in my opinion is a big determinant of a successful Super Bowl commercial. From a marketing standpoint, they had an incredible brand image. Because they addressed an issue within their brand, they attempted to rebrand their product through this commercial and were very successful. They addressed all the negative perceptions associated with their brand, such as that Buicks are only for older people. They used the quote, "If that's a Buick, then my kid is Cam Newton." They addressed the issue of just, again, the negative brand perception head on. And they ended the commercial with "Experience the new Buick" as a transition from their old brand image into the new one. They also implemented market segmentation, specifically demographic segmentation. This commercial centered around a Pee Wee football game, so clearly they were trying to appeal to younger families or to a younger crowd as opposed to, again, the older image that's associated with Buick. They wanted to break into another segment of the market, and they targeted the younger demographic. The worst commercial, in my opinion, was the TurboTax commercial that showed Humpty Dumpty attempting to do his taxes and sitting on a wall, and it was just the opposite of excellent. It failed to connect the product and the service. It just seemed like the commercial and the product that they were trying to promote were just on two completely different pages, and they didn't really coincide. Also, in my opinion, it just put off a very creepy and somewhat gross vibe. It made me want to change the channel way more than it would make me want to use TurboTax. It was also graphic. There are a lot of people watching the Super Bowl and a lot of younger children, and it was a lot of cartoon violence, but it was just very, again, just going back to that creepy and somewhat gross vibe. I also think that they spent too many resources on the entertainment aspect. They didn't introduce the actual goal of their product until the very end. There was a small clip that started talking about TurboTax in the beginning, but it seemed like all of their time and money went into creating the graphics for the commercial. Just going back to the marketing concepts, there was a really unclear target market. It was just very broad and yet didn't seem to appeal to anyone specifically. There was a poor execution of the customer engagement marketing. They used the slogan "TurboTax anytime, anywhere," but at the same time, it portrayed a very negative experience, which seemed to be a contradiction if they were trying to promote a convenient experience for a consumer, because their anytime, anywhere was contradicted by Humpty Dumpty's bad experience. It also failed to establish a brand. It just assumed that the audience had previous insight about the product and the company, and failed to inform the consumer. It just, again, from all sides, I just looked at this one as the worst and as a failure in terms of marketing. And these were my references. Thank you.